Hey guys, welcome to fifth grade math today. You are on page 203 and 204. Look, it's like a movie. Okay, I wanted to do it on here today because there's not really things that I'm going to be writing down on a board because you're going to be learning about temperature. Temperature. Okay, so I'm going to share the screen with you and I'm going to show you page 203. Look at page 203 in your book. You need to follow along in the yellow box. Let me share the screen. Okay, don't forget about me here in the scene. Okay, look right here on our temperature. Look at number 1. It says a thermometer is an instrument used to measure temperature. So we know like a regla, a ruler, is to measure length. A scale, a balanza, is to measure your peso, your weight. Okay. A cup can be used to measure liquid, but a thermometer is used to measure your temperature. Now we know all about that during COVID time, right? Because if you've gone into Peterson or Eldon's, you have those really cool thermometer things when you walk by and it reads your temperature. And what's your temperature usually when you walk by one of those things? Mine's usually 36.4. Well, you're going to learn that that's a healthy temperature today when we look down at the bottom. So here we go. Look at number 2. So what is temperature, by the way? It's the amount of hot or cold in a substance, or the amount of hot or cold in your body. So number 2, degree, that little circle is your unit. So like if you see 5 inches, that means it's 5 inches long. If you see 5 liters, that means that it's something for liquid, right? But when you see that little circle right there, that's your degrees, your grados, okay? So if my temperature in Eldon says it's 36.4 grados, we know that that's degrees in temperature, okay? Number 3, there are two types of temperature that people use: Celsius and Fahrenheit. Say those words with me: Celsius and Fahrenheit. Okay? Celsius is what you guys use, and most of the world uses Celsius. Okay, so when you go into Eldon's again, 36.4 degrees Celsius is what they're telling me. But then in the United States, we use something called Fahrenheit. So our numbers are different, okay? Brian is always telling me, oh yeah, well, it's like something degrees Celsius outside. And to me, that sounds so low, even though it's hot, because Celsius and Fahrenheit are completely different. So I'm used to saying that it's like 100 degrees outside, or let's say 95 degrees outside, and he's used to saying that it's 19 degrees outside, and I'm like, what in the world are you talking about? And then I realized that he's talking in Celsius, I'm talking in Fahrenheit, okay? So that's what it says in number 4. Fahrenheit scale is the most often used in the United States, but Celsius is used everywhere else, okay? So you just need to remember that. So look at the bottom. It says freezing point of water. When water becomes ice, you guys, it's at 32 degrees Fahrenheit, but 0 degrees Celsius. So you need to know that, okay? Boiling point of water, so when the water starts to bubble when you're making spaghetti or something, it's 212 degrees Fahrenheit and 100 degrees Celsius, okay? And our normal body temperature, if we're healthy, that's what they're looking for, so we don't have COVID, right? In the United States, they would tell you it's 98.6 degrees Fahrenheit, but 37 degrees Celsius. So if I had 36.4, then that's very close to 37. So I am healthy. But if I have like 35 degrees, I need to go to the doctor. If I had 38 or 39 degrees, I need to go to the doctor. Okay, because that's not healthy. The healthy one is 37 degrees. Okay, so that's why I wanted to show you the box. So look at number 1, solve these problems. On a cold day, the temperature was 0 degrees Celsius. What was the temperature in Fahrenheit? Well, look down here. If it's 0 degrees Celsius, look what it says on your paper. It's how many degrees Fahrenheit? 32. So you need to write that 32 degrees and then put the F for Fahrenheit on number 1, letter A. Look at number 1, letter B. Miss Johnson made oatmeal using a recipe that said to boil the water. I always forget, what does boil mean in Spanish? I'm going to look it up really quick, but if somebody knows it already, I'm proud of you. Hervir. Ah, that's right, hervir. Okay. So the receta said to hervir the water before adding the oatmeal. To what temperature must she bring the water to boil it? Give the temperature in Celsius and in Fahrenheit. So look down at your paper. 200 degrees, 212 degrees Fahrenheit, and 100 degrees Celsius. You need to write them both with the F and the C. Look at letter C. At 6 p.m., the outside temperature was 63 degrees Fahrenheit. By 11:30 p.m., the temperature had dropped 18 degrees. Okay, when it says it had dropped 18 degrees, it means it got 18 degrees less. So what do you need to do when it says less? Subtract. So in order to find your answer, you need to subtract. Look at letter D. At 7 a.m., the temperature was 50 degrees. For the next 7 hours, the temperature increased 3 degrees each hour. Increase means aumentar, get higher. So what was the temperature at noon? What? Look, at 7 o'clock, it was 50 degrees. So starting at 50 degrees, you need to go 3 degrees higher for 7 hours. Well, let's figure that out. How much is it going to increase if it's 3 degrees every hour for 7 hours? What do you think, Mario? 21, right? 3 degrees every hour for 7 hours. 3 times 7 is 21. So you need to increase the 50 degrees by 21. Increase means what? Add or subtract? Get higher, so you decide. Number 2, we're not going to do. Number 2, we are not going to do. But number 3, we are. Now, before we do that, one second, I'm going to stop my share for a second so you guys can't see what I'm doing. We've learned temperature before. So this is not new to you. Just remember the difference between Fahrenheit and Celsius, right? Give me a second. Okay. I'm going to share the screen again. Okay, let's look right here. Let's read these temperatures. Now, ew, I don't like this one. Stop share. Stop share. Hold on one second. I don't like that one. Sorry. I totally meant to have this before the video started. I know you guys forgive me because you're very kind. Okay, I think this is the one. Aha, here's the one. Okay. Let's share again. Okay, let's look right here. We're looking for how many degrees Celsius is this thermometer showing us. Well, what you need to understand, guys, is most of the time what is common for temperature is that every line significa dos, okay? Every line means 2 degrees, okay? Not just 1 degree, okay? So if you look at this one, okay, we go up to the 50. We don't get to the 60 yet, but let's count our lines after the 50. 50, 52, 54, 56. Okay, you see that? There's 3 lines after the 50. So you have to count by twos. 52, 54, 56. So that's 56 degrees Celsius. If you look at this one, we're passing the 40 with just one line. So 40, 42. 42 would be this one. Let's look at this one. 80, 82, 84, 86 would be this one. If you guys can't see that, you gotta let me know. Let's make it a little bit bigger. Okay, let's see. Making it a little bit bigger. Let's move over to this one right here. Okay, on this one, it's very easy. It's just what? 30. It hits the 30 right there, but let's look at this one right here. 50, and then you go one line past 50, and you're at 52. You have to count by twos each time. So look at number 3, letter A, right? The temperature. Okay, you look at the 10, and then you go up 10, 12, 14, 16, 18 when you're counting by 2. So your answer to the first one is 18. The only one you need to look at that's different is letter D. Look at letter D. There's not 5 lines between the 300 and the 400. There's only 1. So that means it's halfway between 300 and 400. What is halfway between 300 and 400? Whatever is la mitad between 300 and 400 is your answer. And I don't want to tell you what it is because I want to see if you can get it. Look at number 2. Cross it out. You don't do number 2 today. And the rest of it you can do on your own, but if you have any questions, just let me know. The only one that you do not do on page 204, look at page 204, don't do number 5, letter C. Don't do number 5, letter C. Bye. That is all for today. Have a great day.